Since the success of the One Piece live action has taken off, I think it's time for the conversation of the next anime live action we should do. One that I think would be phenomenal if cared for as much and done right just as they have for One Piece. Dragon Ball. And yes, it needs to be a series and not a movie for this to work, because I just believe that movies for anime live actions don't work out most of the time, especially for these long running series where so many important things happen. It's just not going to translate well. Don't worry, what I have in mind isn't anything close to this piece of shit disgrace of a movie Dragon Ball Evolution is.
You're trash, Brock.
For starters, I want to point out and say that I don't think Dragon Ball Z can be done properly live action, at least not in this current era we live in with how intense the fights get. However, I do believe the original Dragon Ball series, which most people sleep on, can be done and would be such a cool story to adapt. It isn't as impossible as some of you are thinking right now.
Please, just hear me out, please.
Take a moment and really think about how original Dragon Ball played out and how it was more focused on martial arts before all the cool badass explosions and super fast combat. Yes, stuff gets a little bit more out of hand as we reach the end of OG Dragon Ball, but it's still nothing compared to like things we see in the Tournament of Power and a bunch of crazy things that we see in Z. Also, sure, there are some really weird and bizarre looking creatures that live in this world, but that was also the case for One Piece, and I think the live action for that handled it really well, if we're being honest here. One Piece has way more bizarre looking people, so something like OG Dragon Ball should be just fine for the most part. Let's take a look at arcs we can cover if it was turned into a series. One Piece live action got 8 episodes and managed to pull off adapting around 45 episodes and around 95 chapters from the manga, which gives something like Dragon Ball plenty to work with. And maybe even more if it managed to get the privilege of 10 episodes instead of 8 with about hour-long episodes. If we're paying attention to the arcs, and Dragon Ball also goes up to around 45 episodes that they end up adapting just like One Piece, we get to see from the beginning of Goku's adventures all the way to the fall of Muscle Tower when we deal with the Red Ribbon Army. Mind you, that's 5 episodes total that's filler by the time we get to episode 45. One Piece didn't have a single episode that was filler, so that's still 5 episodes that we get to cut out. Take out those 5 filler episodes and it's roughly around 40 episodes that they have to adapt for a Dragon Ball live action. As for the manga, it roughly wraps up around chapter 67 when the Muscle Tower falls. That's actually really great timing and entirely doable if the right person is in charge and doesn't try to get spontaneous and do terrible changes. Again, I'm looking at you, Dragon Ball Evolution.
I was going through my attic the other day. Look what I found. I found these pictures. Check it out. Hey, that's when I first won the WWF title. Yeah, look how shiny it is. That's awesome. Pretty good, huh? Yeah. There's more. Check them out. Wow, man. Oh, this is cool. That's us. We'll be together.
Seriously though, literally just do what One Piece live action did. Copy and paste. It'll be a process and it'll be tough to do. But to start off with this journey, we need to get Toriyama on board with another live action, but this time ensure him of the vision we have set for it, and also beg that this man is a part of the decision making for this series. I'm talking details about everything, and if they want to change something, they have to get Toriyama's approval to do so, just like they had to go through for Oda. This ensures that nothing gets changed too much, and we still have the core element of Dragon Ball, and the characters' backstories or intros doesn't change. Fun fact, they actually didn't let Toriyama, the own creator of Dragon Ball, have any creative decision making on the film, and all of his suggestions for it was rejected. How fucking stupid do you have to be to reject the creator of his own series you're making into a movie?
What are you, fucking stupid?
But I'm getting off topic with Dragon Ball Evolution. It needs to be action-packed for sure with martial arts, and needs to have the humor that the series had with the silly, ridiculous things that was said or done. Especially with Kid Goku. That little motherfucker was hilarious. But when we talk humor, some of those things would need to be changed and played with. For example, the infamous "your balls are missing" with Bulma. As funny as this scene is, and as pure as Kid Goku is, it'd be really weird to see Goku slide off a 16-year-old's underwear. I'm not trying to see that shit.
That's nasty.
I ain't trying to see that, but there's plenty of workarounds for jokes you can fix up and make it just as funny. Some of you may be thinking, well, what about Master Roshi then? Let him be the same dirty old man who loves women, but have him not be attracted to the 16-year-old Bulma, and tone down the perviness a bit, because Master Roshi's antic as a perv can get insane, and I don't know if people watching this in live action would respond too well with that trait of his. It's just too much. Everything after is just showcasing him as the badass master that he is. Cast. I'm a believer in forming together a cast that accurately represents these characters that we love. They need to be able to embody the characters of Dragon Ball, so where I'm going with this is, don't cast a ton of big name celebrities just because you want to use their name to grab more people to the show. I can see the importance of that to some regard to draw more people in, but for the most part, we want these characters to feel like the characters we know and love. I don't need to see The Rock as Master Roshi or something. Costumes. I want costumes to be identical to what we have in the anime. One Piece did it fantastic for the Straw Hats and other characters. It is the same outfits we see from its own series. The only thing accurate I wouldn't care to seeing is what Chi-Chi wears the first time we see her. I'm not trying to see a child like that in live action, but everything else gotta be the same. It helps relive the magic of the series and you appreciate it more. The one thing that I'm really unsure about if we adapt this as a live action is Goku's hair. I have no idea how they're gonna replicate that. This is everything the live action would cover based on the chapters I gave for a 10 episode series for season 1. I'm just freeballing it at the top of my head with this one, but I would have the first 3 episodes being the meeting of Goku and Bulma, and then running into characters like Oolong, Yamcha, Master Roshi, Pilaf and his crew, and then fighting Pilaf's gang, Goku's Great Ape transformation, and trying to gather all 7 Dragon Balls and end episode 3 after we see the first wish made with Shenron. All of those events are only 13 chapters from the manga, by the way, which isn't too bad for live action. 7 episodes remaining. Then the highlight of the series for me would be episode 4 to 7, and that would be training and then entering the World Martial Arts Tournament, with episodes 8 to 10 closing the season and covering Goku going to Muscle Tower to search for the 4-star Dragon Ball, meeting good old Ader, and destroying Muscle Tower, with episode 10 leaving off with him wanting to go visit Bulma to fix his radar and continue his journey to look for his grandfather's Dragon Ball. If successful and done right, that's when season 2 comes in and we see the return of loving characters like Bulma and the rest of the gang briefly before we head off to the next part of the story. But if they want to ensure a season 2, they need to make sure they market it just as well as the One Piece live action has. Seriously, I was worried that this show wouldn't get marketed enough until I saw events for the live action and all sorts of cool fun things dedicated to it. And my favorite part of the marketing includes all these dope ass interviews and silly segments they're showing off for the main cast members that's still dropping videos on their channel till this day after the live action is released. Do this kind of marketing and I think we have a good season 1 on our hands and another good anime live action in the history books. Granted that they followed all the steps that I said for the most part. One Piece has shown that it can be done. The formula is there. Someone get to it and please don't fuck it up. Just follow the steps.
You ain't gonna tell me shit.
Listen!
Suck my
Shut up! Listen to me!
Suck my you man.
Listen!
But what do you guys think? Am I just full of shit? Do you think it would be bad if it ran like this? Maybe have the season end after the World Martial Arts Tournament as a big finale after Jackie Chan blows up the moon? Maybe if done right, it'll finally lead only Dragon Ball Z and Super watchers to finally experience OG Dragon Ball on their own because it's so worth it and deserves to be talked about more often. And it'll help create new fans for the series who refuses to watch Dragon Ball, or help people who somehow never heard of Dragon Ball. I don't know how that's possible though, but there's definitely people like that out there. It'll help them get into the series just like how I see many people being intrigued with the One Piece story now that they had their share in the live action. Let me know what you guys think and let me know if you want another video like this. Make sure to like, comment, share, and all that good stuff, and I'm gonna catch you on the next one.